You guys, I'm doing it. I just wanted to show you. I put you in the microwave vortex. Just in case you don't know, I shoot all my videos with a camcorder. I do this because I don't believe in smartphone technology. I don't like it. Some might say I hate it. And if you look around, literally anywhere you go, especially in America, which is where I live, if you can't tell by the way I talk, I mean, I do a lot of different voices, so schizophrenia, that's kind of a thing. Yeah, it's definitely understandable why I hate smartphones. I mean, if you don't understand that, you're just a piece of shit, as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, I'm chopping up all these jalapenos, and I'm gonna be making like cream cheese stuffed jalapenos. Let's see how hot these are. Hold on. Ooh! Damn it! Why did I do that to myself? Whew! Okay, well at least they're hot. But I was thinking about this artist I'm listening to right now. You should check her out. Her name's Saint Vincent. She's like one of the greatest artists that's ever existed. She definitely takes after David Bowie, who's her personal hero. But yeah, she's on par with him. She's definitely on par with him. She's definitely on par with like Prince or like Trent Reznor. She's just insanely talented. And she's very androgynous. A lot of people have a problem with this. Not in relation to her, but just in general. Because they want everybody to live in these little boxes. And what's really cool about doing art is that you don't have to live in a box. Like you can create the world that you want to live in, you know? And you know, to quote Bob Ross, it's your world. which is awesome, you know, especially now because this world is like total shit. And so there's really no denying that. But yeah, like the artist has a lot more options. You know, like if they want to change their gender identity, they can change their gender identity without having to identify in any weird ass way or, you know, take pills or get surgery or anything like that. They can just create a character, and their music or their paintings or their videos can represent that character. And that's really cool, you know, and the more I think about it, just the more I'm so fucking grateful that I'm able to do that. And I think that like the farther along somebody's on that spectrum of being an artist, the crazier they are, and the less likely they are to do conventional things like get married and have kids, or, you know, have some, you know, really conventional job. I mean, Wayne Cohn of the Flaming Lips, the lead singer, like the whole mastermind behind the Flaming Lips, he worked at Long John Silver's for a long time until he got fired. But, you know, he did that because it was good for him to have like kind of a mind-numbing job. And, you know, a lot of people have gotten on to me about me working at Steak and Shake, and they're like, why do you work at that shit job? Like, why don't you like try harder to work somewhere better and like make more money? And it's like, first of all, like, fuck you, okay? First and foremost, fuck you, okay? Why are you telling me what to do? Why isn't any of your business what job I have? You think I'm miserable because I work at a restaurant? I mean, yeah, a lot of people are, but I actually think that restaurant work is like pretty fun, you know? As far as like shitty jobs are concerned. I mean, everybody that I work with likes working there, and everybody gets along pretty well, and if anybody has shit to say to each other, they say it straight to somebody's face rather than going online, which is like what losers do. Okay? I absolutely hate this culture. I hate everything about our society now. It's fucking death and destruction. And now I realize, though, that, you know, for the people that make their living, you know, streaming or putting stuff on Patreon or Twitch or whatever, like, I'm not talking to you, okay? I'm talking strictly to the people that don't make anything, that are not putting themselves out there in any kind of way, that are just being assholes and bitches and cunts, and they're trying to, like, discourage people from making stuff. Like, those people are scum of the earth. Absolute scum of the earth. And, you know, I criticize because I care. They criticize because they're narcissists. Okay? They don't have self-control. And you're looking at somebody that has, like, record-breaking self-control. Okay? Because I just don't... I don't like people like that. So, like, why would I behave that way if I find that behavior to be disgusting? You know? But I really freak people out. Not just because of how weird I am, but, you know, they just don't know what to make of me. And I'm an empath. You know, empaths tend to be hated by society because empaths have something that most of the world does not have. They know that it's valuable. Otherwise, they wouldn't go to protest rallies, and they wouldn't send angry tweets and about, you know, lawmakers passing certain regulations or whatever. You know, so people can pretend to have it all day, but if they're not willing to look at the bigger picture of the problems that they complain about, then they don't deserve solutions to those problems. And I don't know, like, I think that this channel is a good example of, you know, searching for solutions. Because I don't identify in any kind of weird-ass way. I just accept the fact that I'm a freak. And nobody has to understand that. And any, you know, desire that I have that's not good for me, I don't have to act on it. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing to have self-control? Isn't that amazing to be like, wow, I don't have to do that? But I really feel for people that don't have that. And it's not just about self-control, it's about seeking approval from people that want you dead. Or people that don't care if you commit suicide because of some drastic decision that you made. I don't know, man. I pity society, but I also motherfucking hate society because of how stupid they are. Like, it hurts me. It hurts me to watch them hurt themselves. And not just because it reminds me of the way that I used to be, but I just think about all the stuff that they're not thinking about and how it's going to negatively impact them for the rest of their life. And, you know, when you're acting on impulse, obviously, you know, you're not too concerned about how you're going to feel later down the road. And that's crazy that you have all these people in society acting on impulse all the time. And there's no better example than Twitter. Okay? So that's why I'm against Twitter. My favorite content creator, besides myself, of course, my favorite content creator just got reinstated on Twitter, and he's like creaming himself over this shit. And I get it, he's a political dude. So if you're political, you kind of sort of have to be on a website that's totally demonic and reshaping our brain structure, but I don't know, man. Sorry, I say that a lot. I tend to repeat phrases. Maybe I'm like the left. You know how they have those posters, or those signs, rather? They have those signs in front of their houses. They're like, "We believe that Black Lives Matter. We believe in science. We believe in climate change." You know? It's like you always know who's a liberal. But y'all know my feelings on patriotism. I feel like it's another form of liberalism because it's another form of gullibility. The people that are the most butthurt about all of the measures that they took during COVID, those people love the fuck out of this country. You know? The people that have the biggest problem with this country, they didn't give a fuck about all that. But yeah. What was I originally talking about? Androgyny. Androgyny! Yeah, that man voice freaks people out, for sure. Any man that's freaked out by that, obviously, like, isn't much of a man. Does my masculinity bother you, sweetheart? Maybe you should try it sometime, because you're the one with an actual ball sack. Sorry, I don't mean to be a cunt. But I can't help it. Yeah, but men act just like women now. And it's mainly because, you know, we're in the same social arena. So you can blame women working. I mean, I work with a bunch of women, and I gotta say, like, they're actually way easier to work with. I mean, like, work-wise. Not just, like, I mean, a lot of times, like, they can be kind of dramatic about things and exaggerate situations, but it's like, they're amazing workers, though, because they can multitask. So a lot of people that I've witnessed in fast food, like, they can't take an order in the drive-thru and make a drink at the same time. They can't take an order right here, do this over here, do that over there. They're not capable of doing that. Women are. Like, women are amazing at doing that. But that's just because the way that we're wired. So that's not to knock men, okay? Because I know that some dude is going to take that personally. Like, well, I can multitask. Stop acting like a woman, dude. most men aren't anywhere near as good at multitasking as women, because women's brains are designed for that, because our bodies are designed for that, because of our uterus. So it's like, if women aren't with their kids, if women aren't staying at home like they should, then they're still going to have to be a woman in some other way, you know? That's what people miss. Like, that you could keep running away from certain things, but you're still running right back to it. It's just a different version of it, you know? Like, I always knew that I was never going to have what the normal people have, and that the normal people would find it to be a problem. But the thing is, I don't think I'd be good at it. And if I don't have faith in that, then why would I do it? You know? Like, that doesn't make sense to me. Like, why people would expect somebody that doesn't want something to be good at that. You know? Like, if I don't like sports, why would you expect me to watch sports? Why? All because I'm tall or something, you know? It's like, just because you might fit a certain stereotype doesn't mean that you fit all the stereotypes, you know? There's a lot more that's required of, like, being a mom than just having a vagina, you know? And the fact that people are so simple-minded, I mean, don't get me wrong, I would love the fuck out of my kids. I know that I would be a really good mom, but, like, I'm a really paranoid person, and I'm also extremely independent. Like, I don't know how to be with anybody. It's very, very difficult for me. And I've been with enough dudes that were, you know, different. No, I haven't. You make it sound like you've been with, like, hundreds of people. You've been with, like, 5. Yeah, that's true. The man in my head is correct. I've only been with 5 men. But slept with way more. Not proud of that, but it's a fact, okay? It's part of my past life. But yeah, like, the dudes that I dated were very different from one another. Like, I didn't just date the same dude. But it's like, I did the same thing in every relationship. Like, I just pushed him away, stopped having sex with him, lived in my head. If we did have sex, I was disassociating the whole time. Like, and I don't have to fuck to disassociate, you know, I can just be bored. But the fact that, like, that people, like, stay in relationships that they know aren't working all because they don't know how to be alone. Like, I don't have that problem. I think that I did when I was younger, like, when I was in high school, and I was, like, constantly fighting with my boyfriend. I knew that shit wasn't working, but I think that I was definitely dealing with some kind of borderline personality issues. But, you know, once we broke up, it was like, the weight had been lifted, and it was beautiful. And every single time that I've exited a relationship, that's exactly how I feel. And it's like, why would I ever go back to, like, tethering myself to another human being? All because, like, I really want to believe in that. Well, I guess what I'm saying is that I don't believe in that. I think that people that want that should have it. But if they don't want it, why would they force themselves to have it? Unless they're living in, like, an actual patriarchal country, you know? But, yeah, I think that that's just really hard for people to understand that aren't, like, crazy. Because crazy people get it, you know? Unless they're narcissists, because narcissists always have to have attention and be with somebody and fuck and all that shit. And it's like, they really don't understand, like, somebody that just wants to be left alone. They don't understand somebody that doesn't want to have sex. They don't understand somebody that doesn't want somebody to be there. and cuddle and watch TV, and that's pretty much all that couples do these days. So, that's cool if you go mountain climbing or something. But yeah, it's like, I just don't understand, like, why you have to have somebody. Like, why can't you just do that by yourself? Like, in order to feel satisfied, like, why do you have to share it with somebody? I get that in relation to God, like, why it's important. Like, church taught me that. Just being around my church people, it's like, I get why that's important. And I get why families are important. I get why marriage is important. But it's like, if you're not cut out for that, like, mentally, then don't fucking do it. Don't fucking do it. And you don't owe society an explanation at all. But just in case you wanted one, being on the schizophrenia spectrum means I can entertain myself, talk to myself, be with myself. Like, I don't need anybody to keep me company, And it really is a gift. Like, just being with yourself and having a party, man. Like, that is what we do over here. That's why we do this channel, so you can be part of the party, This is the only way that I'd let you in. I've invited people to my house, and I'm like, why the fuck did I do that shit? I can't wait to kick these motherfuckers out. And if I don't kick them out, I just go upstairs and isolate myself. I go take a shower. I'm like, okay, thanks for coming. I gotta go take a shower, man, or I'll just go upstairs and pass out, or talk to myself in the bathroom for 45 fucking minutes. I mean, that's what I do, like, when I go out in public. Ask for Ronit. That's my Jew. She's my comic friend from Israel. She will tell you, like, yeah, she goes outside and talks to herself. She goes outside and paces. And you can ask anybody that has seen me do stand-up. It's like, I isolate myself. I sit at my little table by myself, talking to myself with my little dinosaur. And you might think that's pathetic. And I don't care that you think that's pathetic. You think it's pathetic because you've been indoctrinated by a shit-ass world that believes in killing its damn self to think that being alone makes you a fucking loser. No, honey, I'm winning. I'm winning. Not having to be around other people, that's winning. And have you seen people lately? They don't really act like people. All they do is stare at their little television that they interact with, that distracts them from the fact that they're not comfortable being alone. So, all the jalapenos are cut. Isn't that beautiful? But yeah. I gotta stuff that shit with cream cheese, and I think I might add some paprika to it, and then I'm gonna wrap them in bacon. I'm really excited about the bacon part, because bacon is just amazing, and I feel really sorry for both Jews and Muslims, because they can't appreciate it. It's weird, like, they have that in common, but they still hate each other. Isn't that weird? I guess it's not really that weird. I mean, if you think about, like, Christianity, I was thinking about this yesterday, like, how the only religious people that I fight with are other Christians. I don't fight with Muslims. I don't fight with Jews. I don't fight with secular people or pagans or witches or any of them. I only seem to fight with Christians, which kind of proves that, and I don't fight, like, I don't scream at people or anything like that, but it's just kind of crazy to think of, like, how much division there is in the church. Like, how could, like, Christians really believe in their religion if, like, all everybody does is, like, argue over the correct interpretation of scripture, And then they want to, like, gloat about people burning in hell. Like, we're not supposed to be doing that, you know? If I say that, it's a joke, okay? I don't fucking know. I ain't God. I have God in me, but that doesn't mean that I can predetermine, like, where you're going in your afterlife. I mean, that's so fucking crazy that, like, people think that they know, all because they read some passage in Romans. Like, you know, they say that about homosexuals. But it's like, you don't even know what you're gonna do, like, 2 hours from now. But you're gonna tell a total stranger that their afterlife is gonna be a certain way? I know what you're gonna do 2 hours from now. It's probably gonna be something like this.